What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Market Thoughts, where I'm just giving my general ideas, advice, kind of what I'm seeing in the market. Again, I'm just doing this more for myself to kind of just track my progress, track what I'm seeing week to week so I can go back and look at it. But if you guys find this information valuable, um, great. Please use it. And let's get right into it. First, to start off, I get most of my information from honeydripnetwork.com. I'll post a link in the description. I think they do great work over there, and you guys should go check them out. And let's get right into this. First thing, I'm going to compare the Bitcoin versus gold again. This is the one that I kind of like to keep a good track of, since I do have a decent amount of money in Bitcoin, and I like tracking gold just as a hedge against inflation, kind of see what the market's reacting to um, in comparison to gold. So again, Bitcoin had a down week, bouncing off this 50 EMA on the weekly. Could see a rejection here. I'm looking for buys around 100,000. So if it comes down to this 100,000-ish line, I'm going to buy in some more there. Let's go to the daily real quick. If you look at the daily, it's bouncing off this 200 moving average right now. Could see a rejection here. Really hoping it comes back down to 100,000 because I'll miss this entry. But if you want to enter in now, always good because I think this is going top right. This is just going to keep going up as governments and different things keep printing more money. There's no reason Bitcoin should be going down. So seeing a rejection off this 200 moving average is what I'm expecting. But if it comes down to 100,000, I'm buying in some more. In comparison to gold, let's see, gold had a great week, which kind of gives me raises some question marks like what's going on with the world, the economy right now, because the last since end of August, it's just been up, 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 and actually had a really big candle here this week, up 6%, which is kind of crazy. Kind of expecting that trend to continue going here and continue to go up. If you look at the daily, it's way above these moving averages, so I'm not buying into gold right now, even though I think it could still go higher. I'm going to wait for a retracement to keep going, but it's doing really well, which kind of tells me that people are looking at gold as a safe spot and they don't understand kind of what Bitcoin is there to offer. So I'm going to keep averaging into my Bitcoin positions and just keeping an eye on gold to understand market sentiment. We're going to go down to SPY now. SPY just had a stall week, so we had Trump do his thing last week where he crashed the market just by saying trade wars with China, and the market actually is bouncing nicely off of this 50 moving average right now. It's between this channel that I'm looking at. If it breaks down, I think we're going to be going down hopefully to that 600 range where I'm going to buy back in a lot of my options trades. But right now it's kind of holding this, so you can only assume that it's going to continue going up. Yeah, weeklies. Again, this is why I kind of think of my targets around that 600, just going to trace back to that 600. If you go to this info line, we're going to get a nice little retracement of 10%-ish, which is what I like. So that's not a recession, that's just a correction. A recession would be down here. If it goes down there, I'm only going to make money, but I'm thinking correction is kind of where it's looking at to come back and bounce back off of there. We go to QQQ, so a little different here. This is why I'm kind of cautious about the market going down. Again, QQQ is bouncing nicely off this 50 EMA too, but we had this falling wedge pattern here where it was rising in the charts and falling on that RSI line. So if this continues to go down, it's a good indication that SPY itself might also continue to go down. So just kind of keeping an eye on it week to week, how both of those two are moving. And then lastly, I just want to go through my plays, kind of the things that I'm in, watching week to week. Let's go to weekly first. So this is CNC, one of the plays I'm in. Right now, I'm not averaging into this, but see those two white lines right here and right here? That's a gap that it's going to fill, that I believe it's going to fill. This is a good company, but right now it's just bouncing off that 100 moving average. But I think I'm holding this till 2027. So in the future, it's going to come up to this 53 level and it's going to fill that gap right there. It just needs a little retracement to come back up, probably a retracement down to this 50 moving average and then continue on from there. Go to TTD. TTD, I'm hoping actually to average in some more. Had a little reversal pattern right here. I'm hoping it actually comes down a little bit more, gives me one more week of downtrend. I'm going to buy in some more down here, continue on going up with that. But on the dailies, again, just it's rejecting this 50 moving average right now. Not mad about it. Again, want this to come down a little bit lower. Even if it goes down past this, it's just going to be more entries for me to continue on buying up here. Bull, I am starting to question this company, but I'm just holding because, again, I'm holding until 2027. So if you look at Robinhood, Robinhood did this where it had this IPO where it opened initially, came up to that 86, then down for a while, and then continued back up. I think with Trump, a lot of these investing type companies are going to be really good. So might be in the future, but I'm going to hold this for as long as I can, thinking it's going to come back up to that 80 mark, just kind of like how Robinhood did to continue back on up. I actually think about averaging in here too. Not really sure about this candle. I don't love it. Maybe it comes back down to that $10 mark and then continues on from there. But I see this little wedge pattern right here of it rejecting that this candle wasn't good on that Friday. I hope it continues on up from there. But if it continues down, I'm probably just going to hold my position, maybe add in one contract, two contracts here before continuing back up. And then lastly, FI. So this is one that I've been eyeing down. Honey Drip Network has been trying to put us on of this company for a while. Let me just go to their income statements real quick. I think we did this last week. But the revenue is the thing I like to look at here. It's increasing year over year, so I love to see that. Their net income is only increasing year over year. Again, I'd love to see that. And then the last thing we like to check is that cash flow. That free cash flow is continuing to gain year over year. So this is a great company. Everything's trending in the right direction is what I like to see there. So I'm looking for buys as this chart is going down. On the weekly, it's already past this 200 EMA. On the monthly, it's going to start bouncing off that 100 EMA. So I like entries here. But I also like this entry here. Let me just delete this real quick. This candle usually means a reversal, especially with it oversold on the RSI. It's a good bounce candle off of this psychological zone of 120 to continue on back up. I also like it because we are bouncing off of all-time highs of multiple, or retesting all-time highs of multiple different areas. So it has shown rejection in the past from this area. So any buys probably within the 130 to 120, maybe even a little bit lower than 120, 115. I'm averaging in right now. Week to week, I'm going to be watching it, but I like it trending the other direction as long as Trump doesn't do some China trades or something like that going on. But again, holding this till 2027, so I'm just thinking long term here, because if you think about it, I got a ton more candles between this point right here, between 2027. It's trending, hopefully going to see a reversal there because the company's financials are really good. I also like it because that candle was good, and we do have an engulfing on that Friday, so I got it right at the end of Friday. So an engulfing is this candle is taking up or filling is larger than this other candle of the previous day. So it has a good reversal trend here, down and low on the RSI. So that's kind of why I got in there. A little bit heavier than my normal positions. And that's just my general thoughts. Don't take this as financial advice. It's just me ranting about what I'm seeing so I can use it as a backlog. You guys enjoyed this, great. Give me a like, and I will see you guys next